but the captain's at a party. Pretoria answered the call, like it gone to sleep, I done got me stand tall. In the harbor of Durban, the seal ships ride. The ANC plays a game of seek and hide. They call for the exercise in like the east wind. In point of page you can say they're the ones who sin. So I was on the list, I guess at the gate. Now they say who invited them, it must have been fake. Confusion in the Union building, shadows on the wall. Now the truth gets buried in the marble hall. Who is running the land? Tell me, who's in command? Is it the suit in the office or the gun in hand? Oh, that from the Congo mud to the Pretoria street, the drums of the rock start to skip a beat. No boots for the boys, no armor for the chest, but millions for the tenor to go take a rest. And she speaks of an inquiry, a court to be won, but the days turn to weeks and the paper is torn. No answers coming down as the heavy silence, while the heroes in the bush face no rebel violence. Sent to the jungle with no wings in the sky, only 3 helicopters, how can they fly? No medevac coming when they let us to rain. Chased by the rebels, oh the pride and the pain. No uniform, no boot, no boots, away. Look at the budget for the big salute. P7, 2 million for retirement spree. Modern Navy is sinking beneath the sea. Not a submarine moving, not a sailor in sight, but the body lights are burning to the Pretoria night. The chief of defense, he's a law to himself. Cap commander of the Navy puts the stay on the self. Defying the colonial, ignoring the sir, while the ghost of the fly start to wake and to stir. And what's this whisper? What's this dark news? The chairman charged with murder and he's the one they choose. Promoted to the top, while the dockets go forward. Is this the new story that's being told? Who is running the land? Tell me, who's in command? Is it Siren? Is it Langy? Does Ronnie understand? Oh, from the Crown Hope to the Pretoria street, the drums of the rope start to skip a beat. No boost for the boys, no armor for the chest, but million for the tenor on the moat in the red. The generals are dancing, the politicians are glancing. The money is vanishing and the soldiers are wandering. Who's the boss? Siren. Who's the boss? Anki. The military's gone rogue in the sun. The parade has only just begun.
Hello folks, welcome back. Chris live in central Pennsylvania here on a Tuesday night, 17th of October 17th of February 2026. Where'd that come from, October? Must be thinking about something else. But yeah, February, my bad. Definitely not October, although the weather feels like it outside. February, my bad. All right, welcome back to everybody here. Kind of a weird night owls tonight. I'm in the queue for the Rugby World Cup tickets, and I probably won't get any. I've already been in the queue for 2 hours and 37 minutes, and I'm not even halfway through the queue. For the first hour, it didn't even nudge. Now, in the last 30 minutes, 37 minutes, it's went up about from this much to almost halfway. I got kicked out, and I got this message earlier, which is very distressing. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But earlier I got this message. Let me see if I can put that on the screen over here for you guys. This is, I was sitting there, I waited an hour and a half when I got this message. It was very distressing to see this. But then I just went back to the link and clicked on again. It looked like I had not lost my spot, although this is very distressing. So this says, we're sorry your access has been restricted. Ticketmaster UK queue. Well, why don't they tell us it's Ticketmaster UK? Don't even tell us what site we have to log on to. Your access is restricted when you try to visit the website. Why? Why? And that wasn't even my spot in the queue. What's going on there? It's been configured to block access to configuration that match yours. If you're using Apple's iCloud private relay feature, no, or other private networks like Zscaler, have nothing to do with it. Avoid any actions that might obscure or hide your IP address. My IP address is not hidden. There's no proxy. There's no VPN. There's nothing. Unbelievable. I mean, this is crazy. Where did they get this crap from? So anyway, I'm not using any proxy, no IP hider, none of that stuff, no anonymizer. And I got booted out. That was very disheartening, disconcerting when that happened. Really made me nervous that I was not going to be able to get in here. But anyway, this is always such a frustrating thing with these tickets. So now 2 hours and 38 minutes into the queue, and not quite there yet. So anyway, yeah. So if I drop off suddenly, when you do get in, they give you 30 minutes, and then you're out. At least they told you this. In France, they didn't tell me that. I lost all my tickets in France. Didn't tell me I had 30 minutes. I had 30 minutes to book tickets, and I had to go back, and there were tickets I never did get because of the scam. I mean, the setup that took place last time. Why ticket shysters involved in this, I have no idea. I much prefer the ticket scheme in New Zealand and Paris, where I went and picked up the tickets locally and got paper tickets. I bought them online and then went and picked up the tickets, and I still have those souvenirs from those 2 World Cups. I have my World Cup tickets through 2019 paper, but since then they've just been scumbag digital things, and these ticket shysters make a ton of money off of it. So we'll sit here, and I doubt that my program will be interrupted by this, but I have a feeling I have to stay up most of the night if I want to get any tickets, because this is just ridiculous. It was noon Australian time when this ticket sale took off, which made it 8 p.m. my time locally, so 16 hours behind Sydney. Excuse me. So, yeah, so 16 hours behind, and I've now been in the queue for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I had to wait a long time in France, too, and I really got crappy tickets. I bought tickets. I bought a team, the pass for a team, the Springboks, and you don't even get anything for it. Well, at least Japan, I got the Springbok pass. Got one of these big plastic tickets, which was good. Got me in all the games. But for Japan, it was all digital crap. Or not Japan, for France, it was all digital crap. And I bought tickets. I was one of the first people to buy tickets, and I had the worst seats. I sat in the top level everywhere. It's just such bullshit. They put you in the first seats. And if you wait, then there are no tickets because all these groups buy all the tickets up. The whole thing is such a scam. The Rugby World Cup. And they play these games with it. So anyway, but that's where we're at right now. So yeah, well, I hope you get tickets. We'll see what happens. I have a plan. I do have a plan, but the plan is rather complicated, and it includes 5 of the 7 cities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cities, and it includes 5 of them. I made sure it was feasible by train, by plane, and by automobile for this, and so I put the plan together, and we'll see if it works. But with this plan, I'll get to, if I get these tickets, I'll be able to see, because teams play each other, of course, Argentina, Fiji, France, Georgia, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Portugal, Romania, South Africa, Spain, USA, Wales, and Zimbabwe. Yeah, and I will have traveled to the northeast corner and the southeast corner, the south coast, and the west coast of Australia. So, yeah, if it works. But we have to wait and see. Again, I keep getting this, are you still in the queue thing? And that's another thing that makes it a little bit nervous. I wonder if you missed that, does that mean you're no longer in the queue? Are you still there? I've answered it 3 times. Yeah, they should send me a note not saying, are you still in the queue? But, you know, hey, we're still here. But they don't do that. At least there's a clock this time. In France, there was no clock. And the last time in France, the wait thing, the thing said I was here. Then I got pushed back. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? It was such a scam. Yeah, only the rich and connected get things. Just the regular people like me just get screwed left and right. I haven't even bothered to ask for press credentials for this World Cup because, I mean, the World Cup, you know, why bother? They've got their friends, and that's who they give credit, they let in. Yeah, I know YouTube, Google, and Gmail had massive global outage earlier. Some Amazon Web Services are down. No, let's check. It might be my volume. Hang on. Let me check on my volume. Could be my volume. Microphone. No, it's you. I'll crank it up all the way, but it's you. It's not me. My mic volume was fine. I've just cranked it up all the way, so it's pretty high. Let me see how it sounds to me. I've just cranked it up all the way. So, yeah. Hope you get your tickets when you have time. I've sent you WhatsApp. Loretta, lots of people send me WhatsApps. Got a bazillion WhatsApps. In fact, WhatsApp isn't open for some reason. What happened here? Oh, I know why. Because I rebooted my computer earlier. That's why. Okay, Loretta, let's see what she sent me. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, I would be very much interested. Thank you. And the stuff didn't have. Thank you, Loretta. Things don't have. I'm glad you mentioned it because I wouldn't have seen that message otherwise. No, things don't have to be written in. It's actually better in my view without things being written in. It looks like I'm almost halfway in the queue now after 2 hours, nearly 3 hours. I hope it picks up. See, when it says the queue is moving along as fans check out. Tickets are still available. Thank you for your patience. You're now in the queue for ticket presale. Really? This presale is for fans who created and activated their account before February 17th, 2026. I activated my account 2 years ago. When it's your turn, you'll automatically be redirected to the site to buy tickets. Experience a high demand. Wait times may be long. Please stay on this page with one device and avoid refreshing the page. I've not refreshed it once, but you once locked me out. Please note, once you reach the front of the queue, you'll enter the site and have 30 minutes to complete your purchase. So you better not get up and go to the loo because you'll miss out on your position. So, yeah, anyway. So, crazy stuff. Anyway, so Karen Graham, Mandy Van Rooyen, East Coast Ostrich, Trippy, Emerencia Quinn, AJ Quinn. By the way, I can't confirm now. Let me just see if I've got an update on that. Let me see. Okay. If anyone's curious, one of my moderators is in the air. Actually, still in the air at this hour. Yeah. Well, maybe it landed. It's, let me see, 10:44. 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. No, not landed yet. Still in the air, approaching Europe. One of my moderators on the way to the United States as a refugee with a family. Yep, one of my moderators and another one of my viewers that I know are on the way. Yep. Anthony Nodia, welcome to you. Alex in Ohio, what's going on? Rena? By the way, Alex, I may be coming to Ohio. We have several refugees going to Columbus. My sister lives in Newark, so I don't know when I'll be able to do it. Maybe May, we'll see, because it's going to take more than a day or two. Maybe I'll go to Ohio, see my sister, and then visit the refugees in Columbus. I'll think about that. The smart way would be go for me to watch the Blue Jackets, but I don't think I'll be able to make it up there before then. The season will end. I have to check my calendar and see what's going on. But yeah, and then if I do get to Columbus, I may just come up to Cleveland. There's a number of folks up in that area. So just a thought. Dawn Janssen from Rendsburg, welcome to you. AJ Quinn, Arena, okay, Andy. So we're all on Erica Strauss, welcome. We're all in the, waiting for the ticketing to go on so you guys can see what's happening. But no, you're welcome. Cool, Andy. Meerkat, what's up? D. Barham, what's going on, man? What is the ticketing queue? The ticketing queue, guy, is the line to wait for the Rugby World Cup. Yep. Let me see if I can move this over here. I'll just show it you real quick. I got to be careful. I don't want to lose this window. So this is what it looks like. This is where I'm at right now. Men's Rugby World Cup update. The queue is moving along. See that yellow bar at the bottom? It's almost halfway, or maybe it's halfway now. But 3 hours into it, I've waited 3 hours. Now, when I did the France thing, I waited hour after hour after hour, and then finally the damn thing, but it was earlier in the day, so finally the damn thing started moving, and when it moved, it went like that, and I got in. But then I got locked out, and I had to get back in the queue, and I got back in because I had my 30 minutes. And they never mentioned it was 30 minutes. At least this time they tell you get 30 minutes. So you got to move fast if you want tickets. And if you just want a single ticket, it's easy. And then if you have a problem with your credit card, you're timed out. You got to wait for your bank to give authorization. Yeah, you got to plan this so that you're done in about 18 or 20 minutes. So you got 12 minutes to mess around if you need it. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, but that's what you get. It's how life is. What is going on? I got some crud on my credit card over here. What that is? Something sticky on there. Anyway, it's off now. Okay. All right. Cool. Lucy Zila, welcome to you. Urban Homesteads. So, are you straight on the ticketing queue now, guy? Merlin Jan Keepasad. Okay. Welcome to you. Karen Long. Rudolph Skeppers. What did Rudolph Skeppers have to say there? I got jumped ahead on me there. I got to come back. There he is. Okay. Welcome to everybody. Mandy is enjoying the music when I played earlier. Road Captain Kev is here. Des, welcome to you. Georgina Samuels. Zé Martinez Bloodcup. 3D modeling. So I heard. Huh? Zé Martinez, welcome to you. Momo Zeke Edits. Can you join the military? You're on the cusp, buddy. You may not be able to join the best service, which is the Army, because 34 is usually the cutoff. And Marines also have a cutoff around that time. But I understand you can join the Air Force at a later age, as long as you meet the standards. So, yeah, but you have to be a permanent resident of the United States. So if you're a refugee, you're going to have to wait 12 months, and then whenever you get your card after that. So it's going to be a little bit of a wait. Yes, Chugsy, lots of massive outages, YouTube especially. I wasn't aware of Gmail. That caught me by surprise, but doesn't shock me because it all belong to the same company, Alphabet. Stefan, it was you. It was not my volume. But I've looked at it and cranked it up as high as it'll go. David Wilson, hello. Light rain, light rain. So it reminds me of Chris. Light, bright, making things with light, making fun with light. I'm over halfway now. Woo, woo, it's moving along. Again, folks, I may have to abruptly end this at some point to if it gets that far, okay? Because I have to focus. I can't be sitting here punching codes into numbers and trying to figure out the dates and where it is I've got my plans to go on this map, and I've got to keep it sorted. Plus, I've got all the games listed here. You know, it's not like going to England where, gosh, I can go from this place to drive to this place in the same day and make it. It isn't going to work that way. It just isn't going to work that way. So, if it goes well, which it probably won't, Dion Ladigan, welcome to you. If it goes well, I'll have Wales versus Zimbabwe in Adelaide. Then the next day, South Africa versus Italy in Adelaide. Then next one's Fiji versus Spain in Newcastle. And then Ireland versus Portugal in Sydney the day after that. Then a break, and then France versus Japan in Brisbane. And then South Africa versus Georgia in Brisbane. After that, it's Japan versus USA in Adelaide. Argentina versus Fiji in Adelaide. I hope Adelaide's nice because I got too many games there. And then South Africa versus Romania. I never stay for the knockouts, for the playoffs, but this might be one time I do it. Looking at the pool that South Africa's in, it seems to me, unless they have a complete collapse, that it's a foregone conclusion that they'll win their pool. They're with Italy, Georgia, and Romania. I don't see any of those teams outperforming the Springboks to get into the playoffs. So if that's the case, I've never done this because I used to stay. But since I can't get many tickets, if I can get a ticket for that game, it's actually in Perth. And that makes sense because the Springboks' last game against Romania is in Perth, and I could just stay there and then catch a game and then head back after that. So, yeah, so we'll see. Anyway, but anyway, this is all just conjecture, all just fantasy, all just, ephemeral ideas. We'll see what happens. Anyway. Hey, Mandy. The Smiths. Hey, the Smiths are here. What's going on? I saw you did an interview with some folks down in Australia. What's going on there? And thanks for joining us tonight. Good to see you there. How's the family? Okay. Let's see. Dion Esmley, welcome to you. Rebel Refuge. You're welcome, Rebel Refuge. It's my pleasure. Peter Talliard, on the move. Welcome. Dion is back. Veroska, off to work already because I started late, huh? Okay. Okay, I think I'll get discombobulated if I were to buy tickets online, worry about getting timed out because I'm not quick on the keyboard. Oh, Ingrid, yeah, it can be very frustrating, even for those who are very adept at the internet. Let me just check in on the Olympics. I was watching the primetime Olympics over here. Let's see what's going on over there. Oh, I'm on a commercial. Wegovy, $25 a month, $149. No thanks. I'll pass on your drugs. Right, okay, where was I at now? Back over here. So there we go. I had a Light Bright as a kid. Forgot they existed. Yeah, Light Bright making things with light. Yeah, Light Bright was pretty wild. I remember that. It's cool. And then remember Battleship? You sunk my battleship. I love in the Big Bang Theory when Wolowitz is playing Battleship against Raj. And Wolowitz says, B7. Miss. He goes, how can I miss? I had B6 and B5. How can B7 or B5 and B8? How can B6 and B8? How can B7 be a miss? He goes, what kind of ship is that? It's a Romulan battle bagel? No. Yeah, you sunk my battleship. I remember that as a kid. Yeah. And then it was Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Never forget those. Hey, just another girl. What's up? Really far, far away. Well, dad joke, I suppose, as long as it's not too rude or disrespectful or off color, you can do it. Well, I'm working my way through it now, nearly 3 hours, but made some progress since it came on. So we'll see. Maybe it'll happen during the stream. I don't know. All right. So. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about a number of things tonight. Refugees will be one of them. We'll talk briefly about that, but we're going to talk about the Olympics. Yeah, they are fun references. They take you back. They take you back in time, don't they? I got to check on something else really quick on my WhatsApp. That's not what I want. Oh, I hate when it must be too much crap in here. There you go. Okay, somebody's coming in town tomorrow that I know from South Africa, so I'm just making sure that they got the word. Okay. Why can pirates never finish the alphabet? They get lost at sea. Ah, ha, 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 that is a Dow joke. What do you regret, Light Rain? 2 hours to type in on a library computer, figure out how to print and get staff to forward phone so I can email it. What's that? Your application? Gail, welcome to you. Boerblom, hello. People popping in here now. We're getting close to 100. Okay, Miss Smith. We missed here. Right, so let me just check in. Still slowly getting there. It's not asking me again if I'm here, but hopefully it won't lock me out when it's time to go in. That really pissed me off earlier. I got really concerned. Oh, dad jokes. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. All right, so, boy, the BBC wrote a blistering article about John Steenhuisen. Oof, my goodness. I mean, this is a blistering article. I don't think John Steenhuisen is going to worry too much about me and my criticisms after this. This is, oof, just, they really nailed him to the wall. Let me just pull that up for you guys. Michaela Schifrin, what's going on with her?
Was at the Tokyo Games 6 months prior. Prior to these Olympics, Biles and Schifrin discussed their common ground.
I remember
Simone Biles. Why are we talking Simone Biles? She's a Summer Olympian. She's a gymnast. Michaela Schifrin, who didn't get it done. Well, let's see if she can get it done later on. Anyway, where's the story at? Where'd it go? There it is. How the tide turned. Wow. How the tide turned against John Steenhuisen. This is a great story here. Not great for John Steenhuisen, but a great story. How the tide turned against the leader of South Africa's second biggest party. Serving in South African government for the first time, the Democratic Alliance, perceived as primarily representing racial minorities, by racists mostly, portrays itself as a squeaky clean party, but it has suffered a major blow after its leader, John Steenhuisen, became engulfed in several scandals. This forced him to announce he will step down as party leader, opening way for a potentially divisive contest between a black and white candidate to succeed him. Well, of course it's perceived as a white party because you race hustlers in the BBC are focusing on race. You don't focus on the suitability of the people trying to replace him, but your first comment is black and white. Who's even talked about that except you race hustlers? Race remains a major fault line in South Africa. The ending 32 years ago of the legalized form of racism, apartheid, actually, apartheid wasn't racism. The policies applied to make apartheid happen, many of them were racist, but apartheid wasn't racist. Apartheid is not racist. If apartheid was racist, then the Inganyoma Trust, or the Zulu, is racist. Then the government of South Africa is racist. So it's 145 laws meant to uplift the previously disadvantaged. Then they must be racist. That came with the rise of the power of Nelson Mandela's ANC, has not totally erased the divisions. The ANC has remained in government ever since, with the DA joining it for the first time in 2024 after they failed to produce an outright winner in the election. The DA secured 6 ministerial posts in Ramaphosa's cabinet, with Steenhuisen holding the agricultural portfolio. As a former leader of the opposition, now minister, Steenhuisen was caught between making the government work while trying to appease the supporters and prove to them that he's delivering a government. By the way, let me just pause for a second here. Can you imagine being a South African right now in the queue trying to get tickets to go to this thing? How many times does your power go out tonight? You'll never get tickets. It's crazy, isn't it? Yep. Steenhuisen was caught between making the government work while trying to appease the supporters. Something I said from the outset, which is why he should never have taken a ministerial post and just served as leader of the party or left that position. But now John Steenhuisen, arrogant, he can do both. Yep. But to be fair, he's not the only person tried this. Gate McKenzie did it with his tiny little party. It really doesn't matter because his party is just Gate McKenzie and nothing else. It's vaporware, whereas the DA is actually a party. And Peter Groenewald is from a small party and he's able to pull it off for a while, but eventually even he gave in and said it doesn't work. The executive chair of the Southern African Agri Initiative, Theo de Jager, was quoted as saying that anyone who dares to voice criticism of Steenhuisen's handling of the outbreak is pushed out, excluded, isolated, targeted, and treated with suspicion. Now, where did Theo say that? Did he say it multiple places? I don't know. But he said it on my program, and I see no footnote, no reference. They don't say where they got the information from. They just say that he said it. Well, thank you, BBC. You're the same liars who claim that you had the first ever interview with Charles Kleinhaus as a refugee, which was poppycock. Poppycock. Once again, it looks like the BBC is stealing my content. Amazing. A state-owned propaganda network has to resort to stealing my content and lying. I find it hilarious. Now, I think that Theo said that elsewhere, but they didn't give credit to any place he said it. Didn't say where he said it. Interesting. When these things are said, I say it's said in the Newsroom Africa, or it's said by News 24. That's where he's quoted, or the Daily Maverick. I give credit to the Washington Post, but not the BBC, the propagandist. But this is a pretty good article, actually. Not for John Steenhuisen, mind you. Yep. The 49-year-old has faced intense criticism from farmers over his failure to contain the foot and mouth disease, which has devastated the livestock industry. For the DA, such criticism is a major blow, as it has long positioned itself as being far more democratic and competent than Ramaphosa's ANC. But it has now come under fire from one of its key constituencies. South Africa is mostly white farmers, many of whom vote for the center-right DA. The DA is not center-right. The DA is not center-right. The DA is center-left. It's a left-wing party. They run around parading for LGBTQ causes as if LGBTQ people are more special than other people. They're not. They're the same. They don't deserve special privilege. No, the DA is not a center-right party. This is bullshit. So the BBC running their propaganda. The story's mostly pretty good, but that's just a lie. They're not a center-right party. Any objective person would know that they're center-left party. In fact, everyone's in love with artificial intelligence. Let's see what, well, I'm past the halfway point now. I'm almost at the 60% mark. Let's take a look and see, is South Africa's, let's see what Grok says, or AI says, after this, Democratic Alliance. Now, I'm going to set this up to see, I have an answer. Alliance, a center-left political party. Let's see what it says. All right. No, they call them a centrist to center-right. They're not center-right. No, they're not. See why AI is unreliable? They're not center-right. They're center-left. No conservative party runs around singing the praises of the LGBT community. No center-right party agrees in state-owned enterprises. No center-right party believes that the government has the answers. No. That's not center-right. That's center-left. Oh, what a crock. See why you can't trust AI? You guys fall for that stuff. Yeah, they also say the Freedom Front Plus is far right. It's not. It's center right. Yeah, they call them the right wing. Well, you could say right wing. They're on the right of the spectrum, but they're center right. But more damaging for Steenhuisen was the financial scandal they became embroiled in, possibly the first time this has happened to a DA leader. Well, he's got lots of scandals. John Steenhuisen is a tainted person, and what I know about him compromises even more. We haven't shared that yet, but I'm getting to the point where I'm about ready to share that information. South Africa's Daily Maverick news site broke a story that Steenhuisen had a default court judgment against him for unpaid personal credit card debt of almost 150,000 rand, 6,700 pounds, over $9,000, despite the fact that his annual salary was 2.69 million rand, or $168,000. In response, Steenhuisen said, "My personal finances have nothing to do with the Daily Maverick, unless you can demonstrate that illegal funds or the proceeds of corruption or abuse of office or undue benefits have flowed into or out of my accounts." Now, see, that was a idiotic, retarded, stupid statement by a politician completely disconnected from reality. Do you really think that that's a satisfactory answer? The satisfactory answer should have been John Steenhuisen that, yes, I have personal financial difficulties. I've gone through personal circumstances, whatever they were, and as a consequence, I ran up these bills. I spent a lot of my personal funds to pay for official travel that I didn't ask for compensation on. Perhaps I should have asked for that. I mean, I don't know, but that's a better answer than it's nobody's damn business. You're the leader of a political party, a party that claims that it's above reproach, beyond reproach, a party that claims that it knows how to administer things fiscally. Really? You can't even pay your credit card bill. And it isn't a question of he was late on the credit card payment. It isn't a question of he missed 2 payments. It's a question that they took him to court and a court ordered a judgment against him because he's a deadbeat. That's very different. But the disclosure tarnishes his reputation with good reason. How can you trust someone that lies like that? Nobody's business. The arrogance. How did this guy ever get to be the leader of the DA? It shows you the judgment of the DA is flawed because he got like 70%, 69 or 70% or more of the damn vote. So he hoodwinked over 2/3 of the people who voted for the leader in the Democratic Alliance. It raises questions about the judgment of 2/3 of the DA. And this isn't new. This guy's had scandals going back to 2010 when he had to resign as the leader of the KZN DA. Remember that? Yeah. Oh, let's talk. That's actually covered in this story too. The scandal coincided with Steenhuisen getting Ramaphosa to sack Environment Minister Dion George and the DA's federal finance chair. While no reason was given, various reports pinned his removal on the stance against wildlife trafficking. Wildlife trafficking, particularly poaching in significant province South Africa, its rhinos are almost wiped out. And George was praised by conservation groups for his role in championing reforms in conservation environmental sector, particularly for calling for an end to captive lion breeding. The MS Foundation, which advocates for wildlife rights, said George's removal was a political execution and accused Steenhuisen of walking straight into the arms of the wildlife breeding sector when he assumed the agricultural portfolio. Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, SPCA, also raised concerns, particularly over the apparent close ties George's successor, Willie Okamp, had with wildlife breeders and hunters. George detractors within DA pushed back against his narrative, citing underperformance and bullying allegations as reasons for his removal. That was character assassination. None of that stuff was ever present or mentioned in the year plus that he served in that ministerial post. This is all just bullshit trying to tarnish this guy's reputation. Look, I have no love lost for Dion George, but it's obvious the way this thing unfolded politically. Let me check my position in the... Okay, now I'm about 2/3 of the way through. So we're getting there. Maybe. We'll see. All right. It's now 3 hours since the ticketing started, and I am only 2/3 of the way through the queue. All right. Okay. So if I have to end the stream, excuse me, I got to sneeze. Come on. If I have to end the stream, I'll end it, and then if I'm successful getting tickets or unsuccessful, I'll do a quick stream afterwards and let you know what happened. You're clueless as to what Windows or what I may have. My old laptop is useless. It's very easy. You can look it up. Go to the Windows thing. Thank you very much for the bless yous, the Gesundheits. You can look it up and it'll tell you what version you have. So, the DA pushed back against the narrative, citing underperformance while dismissing concerns about OCOM's appointment, saying it expects continued progress in conservation anti-poaching efforts under his leadership. Once again, the DA is the Team Canada cheating in curling Olympics is funny. They cheated? I didn't see that. I didn't see the Team Canada today. I didn't watch curling. I watched early Olympics when it was the only thing on, but I haven't watched it today. I did watch where they went down, the jumping. The American got a silver medal. I thought he got cheated. I thought he had the best jump. The Norwegian was incredible, but the American had the best jump. Light Rain says, to the media, anyone not currently in the process of gender reassignment surgery is far right. I think you're right about that. That's funny. That is funny. The DA also announced that it planned to institute a disciplinary inquiry into allegations that George unjustifiably raised the salaries of staff in his ministerial office, something that further tarnished the party's reputation. Really? Well, John Steenhuisen hired Roman Kabanak to be his chief of staff. And then he bailed on Roman Kabanak and told him to resign after he knew who he was. Nothing against Roman, but it just shows you the lack of judgment of the DA and the DA leader. The DA leader. Feeling as though it's, ooh, we're in government finally. Ooh, now we can do what we want. Let me bring my buddy Roman into this. And then he act like he never knew Roman Kabanak. These guys are buddies. They've known each other for years. Steenhuisen and Roman used to have coffee, you know. Steenhuisen is just, anyway. Okay, so George denied the allegation, said he was a victim of a smear campaign aimed at covering up the actual reasons. I agree. He was a victim of a smear campaign. Whether it was meant to cover up a situation or not, he was a victim of a smear campaign. He then resigned from the party, but not before revealing that he had confiscated Steenhuisen's DA-issued credit card last year because the account could not be reconciled with spending on Uber Eats, car rentals, and hotel accommodation. Now, Steenhuisen denied the allegations, but his card was removed. So the DA's never explained why his card was removed. The DA inquiry cleared him. Of course they cleared him, because he's a party leader and he holds fealty or control over their fealty. It found that expenditure on the card had been fully reconciled and the limited number of personal expenses had been adequately explained and reimbursed. Not at the time. The card was suspended a year ago. And only now do they explain it. Ronell, I've been blowing my nose like that for 60 years, 50-some years. It's not that dangerous. Keeps the brain loose in the skull. But thank you for that. I've always been told that's not safe to do. Steenhuisen, possibly reading the political tea leaves, later announced he would step down as leader at Congress in April. He appeared upbeat as he addressed the media, taking a victory lap, looking like a man being not looking like a man being forced out as he reflected on his political career and his achievements. Now, Steenhuisen first came into politics in 1999. He was appointed counselor in Durban. Appointed, not elected. Nobody elected him because they had confidence in him. He was appointed. That's how it works in South Africa. You don't get to vote for people. They get picked. Now, let's say we're about 65% of the way there. All right, so he rose to become leader 20 years later. His ascent has not been without scandal. Back in 2010, he was forced to resign as the DA leader for KwaZulu-Natal after it emerged that the married Steenhuisen was having an affair with his colleague's wife, Michael Beaumont. Steenhuisen managed to quickly bounce back from that and found his way into Parliament just a year later. Now, how did Steenhuisen, who had a salacious scandal, a sexual scandal, resign as the leader of KZN for the DA, and then a year later was in Parliament? Something dirty and fishy going on there. In 2014, he became the chief whip, working closely with Musi Maimani. They formed a close bond that Saur Maimani resigned in 2019, and Steenhuisen replaced him. Of course, Maimani to this day believes that Steenhuisen pushed him out. But Musi Maimani has to be honest with himself. His effort to turn the DA into the ANC light was an abject failure, and it cost the DA significant votes. And since that election in 2019, the party has continued to tumble down under Maimani and then under Steenhuisen, who claims victory, but it's just a lie. The DA and its blue wave is blue bullshit. Since then, that pair has traded insults. Political analyst Sandile Sanwa told the BBC that Steenhuisen should never have been the DA leader. I don't know who Sanwa is, but I agree. Sanwa mentioned his 2010 affair, public fallout with George, and the alleged difficulties in managing his finances as examples of poor leadership. It's not alleged difficulties. If you have a court rule a judgment against you for debt, you're a debtor, that's not alleged difficulties. You clearly can't manage your finances. I love that alleged. Yeah, he'll be in the ANC soon, yep. Political analyst Kayani Magubani has offered a different perspective, saying South Africans in general may view him as someone who is able to rise above party politics. But in the DA, he'll go down as a betrayer to many who wanted him to continue the position of a hardliner in the coalition government. No, that's not why he's a betrayer. He's a betrayer because he is in cahoots with the ANC. And he's also, achievement thief, claiming achievements that never occurred. All this nonsense about how the DA has made South Africa better. South Africa has continued its downward spiral under the government of national unity. In fact, things are worse now for millions of South Africans than they've ever been. Stefan Short, you're also in the queue. Well, you've been waiting 2 hours. I've been waiting 3 hours and 10 minutes. And I'm about 68% of the way there. That's a rough estimate because the bar doesn't tell you how far. You've been waiting 2 hours. I've been waiting 3 hours and 10 minutes. I was there before it started. All right, I was logged in at 10 minutes till, and it took me there when it started at the top of the hour. So, yeah. How far are you on your little bar there, Stefan? Can you tell me how far you're on the little bar? I'll do a picture of where I'm at right now. I'll show you. Of course, I already had this situation where it crashed, and it said that I can't go in because I'm using some kind of blocking software, which is bullshit from Apple. I don't use Apple. That's for rich white people. I'm not a rich white guy. I don't use Apple for anything. I stopped using Apple decades ago because it's garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. So this is where I'm at now in the queue. Hang on. So here you go. Let's show you where I'm at. I have to do a photo of it because I can't move things around. I'll just have a problem. So here we go. So there we go. Let me get up here. So here you go. That's where I am right now. You see the yellow down there? That was at 15:10. That was 1 minute ago. And you see the yellow where I've advanced after 3 hours. Not fast. So, Stefan, you're trying to get tickets to the Italy game. Which Italy game was that? Italy versus... Oh, the South African game. Yeah. Hopefully your power doesn't go out if you're in South Africa. I mean, watch me jinx myself and my power go out here in Pennsylvania. Anyway, so I'm going to watch the next live. I'm so tired. Okay, sorry, Erica. Sorry you had a long day. Okay. Nicole Bowman was promoted to ward counselor at provincial post. It was pretty good solving issues. I don't know who that is. News says Zoom is fighting for his place in the ANC, but how can you be a lead of MK? Oh, he's not in the ANC, so what do you mean he's fighting for his place? He's not even in the ANC. Hey, Neff, what's up? So right now, Mad Max is winging his way to America. Yep, he and his family are on their way. Oh, did I say that out loud? I said one of my moderators. Well, now the secret's out. Yep. People don't know who Max is anyway, so Mad Max is on his way. Anyway, back to the story. Elaborating on this, she said that Steenhuisen's good relationship with the ANC as in government was the core issue that led him to announce he would step down. Magubani said that when Steenhuisen's party joined the coalition, there was almost an expectation he would continue with the mandate of fighting for DA policies. But the exact opposite started to happen. Well, yeah, the DA is supposed to fight for DA policies. They haven't. This echoed George's sentiments in his resignation of the party. The aggrieved veteran accused the DA through Steenhuisen of being captured by the ANC. Well, that's 100% correct. It is captured. It is captured. The election result forced the DA and ANC, considered long-standing arch rivals, to put aside their differences and work together. The pro-business DA has been a fierce critic of the ANC on many issues, including foreign policy, where the ANC is seen to be too close to countries such as Russia, and Iran, a terror sponsor, and domestic policy, where it champions affirmative action. Affirmative action is racist, and that's where the DA is at. That's why it's a center-left party. That and its LGBTQI element of P stands. Yep. Yeah, sorry, I let the cat out of the bag. Sorry, Max, I hope you don't get mad at me. I was in contact with him while he was in the air. Had confirmation he was in the air while he still had Wi-Fi. Yep, so my apologies if I let the cat out of the bag. I couldn't resist that. So anyway. Despite numerous hurdles along the way, including the DA's refusal to support the government's proposed budget twice last year, both parties have managed to make the best of an uneasy union. Yeah, because the ANC does what it wants, and the DA rolls over and takes up the backside like a little biatch. Yep. This was best exemplified when seen as in background Ramaphosa, the president was ambushed by the U.S. president. They're calling it an ambush. Okay, Ramaphosa begged for the meeting. Trump cleared his calendar, let South Africa come over. Ramaphosa lied in the Oval Office. Trump showed the video of what's happening in South Africa. He denied knowledge of it and then claimed that he's just a minor opposition party. Yeah, well, your government overruled the hate speech ruling against Kill the Boer and saying it's perfectly fine to exhort people to murder others. Yeah, no. Ramaphosa is not ambushed. Trump was prepared for his bullshit. That's the difference here. That's the truth. Boy, our audience is getting smaller at night. If we get below 100, maybe we won't do this anymore. Wow, just kidding. All right. After Trump confronted the delegation with a video in support of discredited claims of white genocide. Okay, that's not what Trump did. See, this is the bullshit from the BBC. Trump did not talk about white genocide. Annika Larson did that from South Africa. She raised the question, and Ramaphosa answered it. Trump didn't answer it. When he asked the question, he answers, do you believe there's a white genocide? After meeting President Ramaphosa, he says, I'm not convinced of that. So they still run this lie. Even if Trump had never used the term white genocide, they would try to blame Trump for it. What a crock. White genocide. Now, the video didn't talk about white genocide. The video talked about racial persecution, which is exactly the case it proved. But the BBC, with their head so far up their rectum, can't identify the truth because they're not objective. They're propagandists. It was Steenhuisen who assured the U.S. president most white farmers wanted to stay in the country. Well, see, that's bullshit too. The argument wasn't about white farmers leave the country. The argument wasn't about white farmers at all. You see how they contort and lie about things? Watch the whole situation again. It's available. It's there. Go on the White House website. Watch what was said last year. I'm going to have to go back and dissect all that, make a whole new video about the lies from the media. It's just unbelievable. What are you talking about? The viceroy doesn't have influence over the process. Well, I can get some things to happen, so. Cape Town Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis viewed as a favorite to replace him. But Saleh Msimanga in Gauteng is also a candidate. As a Gauteng leader, he has a lot of support, but Hill Lewis still has the backing of senior party members like Helen Zille. And then this black political analyst says she also reflected following Maimani's stint in the Post. She does not think the DA has an appetite for black leaders at the moment. That's a racist statement. Why do you think that? Why? A black conservative would be great. A Tim Scott, a Byron. What's his last name? Byron. I can't think his last name, from Florida. Yeah. What a stupid statement to make. DA is long perceived as a party that promotes the interest of whites, Indians, and coloreds as people mixed race are known in South Africa. No, the DA supports the promotion of things for South Africans. See, what they're doing is creating a dichotomy here where black people are beggars and that they deserve special advantage. And if you don't believe in them being beggars and getting special advantage, then somehow you are racist. What a crock. Maimani stepped in leadership post 2015 as the DA was trying to broaden its appeal. 4 years later, he quit after the party's vote declined by 1.5 percentage points in the election. 1.5%? What? See how they play games? Okay, let's take. The DA got 4,004,000 votes under Helen Zille. Under Musi Maimani got 3.6 million. That's 400,000 less votes. That's not 1.5%. That's not 1. That might be 1.5% of the total vote. But they declined. You see how they play with stats and they lie to the viewer? The DA lost 400,000 voters from 2014 or 2014 to 2019. 400,000 voters in a electoral pool of voters much larger. They lost 400,000 votes under Maimani and another 100,000 under Steenhuisen. So losing 400,000 votes out of 4 million is 10% decline, not 1.5%. What a crock of bullshit. This is just bullshit. The BBC wouldn't know the truth if somebody smacked them in the head with a 2x4 that said truth on it. What a crock. That's a 10% decline. A 10% decline. Unbelievable. But yes, maybe it's 1.5% in the total vote total. Yeah, probably. But that isn't germane. That's the same as Steenhuisen claiming we increased the party. You got 100,000 fewer votes, dingbat. How did you increase it? Well, we got 22.6% instead of 21.9%. What? It doesn't matter. Nobody showed up to vote. Stupid stuff. 4 years later, he quit after the party's vote declined. Explaining his exit time, my money said the DA was not the vehicle best suited for taking forward the vision of building United South Africa. No, because white South Africans don't want to see black South Africans as beggars, which is what Musi Maimane wanted. He wanted black South Africans to be viewed as beggars, just like the ANC. Now I'm at 75% of the way there. It's crazy how long. Already 3.5 hours. Where'd the guy go? Was telling me how long he'd been waiting. I'm curious. He hasn't said anything since he mentioned that. Yeah, the usernames are weird. I don't know why they've done that. It's just annoying. And if the DA carries on the way they currently are, they'll have no voters for long. Yeah, they suck big time. I agree. They've done this themselves. So, I mean, and look, the federal chair, I have an audience that's bigger than, until recently, bigger than any of the South African channels, except for the big black guys who have, their channels. But any of the white streamers and the color streamers, South Africa, my channel was bigger than any of them until recently. Not in subscribers, but in views. It was until recently, but now we're tumbling down. But anyway, yet I have more viewers. What does the DA have now on YouTube? What do they have now? But one time I was way ahead of them. Let me see. Democratic Alliance. Let's see how many subscribers they have. I know they have a big Facebook crowd, but I don't do Facebook. DMOC. But everyone's going down. Newspod has only got 196 people watching. I usually has 500 people. Democratic Alliance, South Africa. Let's see how big their channel is now. They have 81,000 subscribers. A political party, a major political party in South Africa has 81,000. I have more than that. Citizen Concern has more than that. Ronaldo has more than that. Morning Shot has more than that. Yeah, 81,000 subscribers. And that's a big jump. They were 50,000 for a long time. Yep. So, Steenhuisen, State of the Nation address, 7,000 views. Wow. DA Chief Whip McAllis sweeps at the 2026 SONA, 1,200 views. 10 hours ago, DA's Paul Swart urges action on corruption, 247 views. Wow. What's next for the DA? Now, 3 weeks ago, this is good. The DA got 509,000 views with Steenhuisen. But Steenhuisen was about to be pushed out, and that's why people were watching it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so they're their own fault. And what I'm getting at is that Helen Zilla promised to come on my channel 6 years ago. I haven't had her on since then. I've gone through her PA, and I was told that yes, she would come on. This is last fall. Then no, she's busy right now. No, we're coming up. Still hasn't happened. So I'm not going to beg people to come on. Yep. Yep. So anyway, 75% of the way there now. So we'll see. So I'm glad I went live because obviously I'm not getting to my tickets here. So I think anyone gets up to in a flyer. Fortunately, anyone waiting, thankful the process is moving. Where'd you get the figure of 230 from? By the way, I'm going to admonish people right now, okay? South Africa's history began 119 years ago. No, it began thousands of years ago. But modern South Africa's history began in 1652. Or you could argue it began when the Nguni-speaking peoples crossed the Limpopo 1,600 years ago. Yeah, either one's a good argument. But 119 years ago is a joke. Yeah, I'm up. What a beautiful day. It's raining. Okay, Mara, that's good. Okay. A political party, the Wyatt Army, Riot Revolution Army. I don't want to use revolution. That's not a good term. Yeah. Yeah. Utopia's in America, in case you guys didn't know that. Haha, let the cat out of the bag. He's here. He's in America. And you know Mad Max. Well, I know Mad Max, too. I can do you one better. I can name that tune in 2 notes. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so the DA's done it to themselves. They've done it to themselves. Steve Eisen had an opportunity last year to come on this program in a very fair, open environment when I was getting 4 million views per month. I was getting 4 million views per month. Even if I made crappy content a year ago, people would have tuned in. People watched everything I made last year. 4 million views in a month, 4.5 million in 1 month. That's a lot of views. And 86% of that was coming from South Africa. So people were tuning in, black, white, and brown. And Steve Eisen just simply blew me off. While his little channel gets 247 views for a video that's 9 hours old and 3,000 views for a video that's 3 months old. I mean, come on. Seriously? Seriously? They do this at their own peril. And they've been opaque. No, Marion van Freden. Wow, that's an interesting name. Nell Mari van Freden. That's tough to get that. Thank you, Nell. Welcome for becoming a team member. Appreciate that. I do. By the way, guys, I thought we hit the nadir with views, but I was wrong. I was wrong. We had 28,000 views on Valentine's Day. I thought that was low. Only went up 34,000 next day. Had 27,000 views on the 16th, Monday. That's unprecedented. We are in new territory here of low views. That's fine. Much more than I got before, but it's making it hard to get to 50 million views. And revenue is way off this month. Thank God I don't live off of money I make on YouTube. I'd starve to death. Yep, revenue is only 1/3 of what it was in December, which is an unusual month. But still, it's running behind the average for months. So, and last month was better. So anyway, but again, we're not doing this for all the money. But it is helpful. Well, no, Utopia and Mad Max are going to be very far apart, so we won't be getting it for a Bri. Well, thank you, Justin. I thought my last video was very good too, but it's not doing particularly well. Maybe now to pick up. We'll see. Yeah, it's picking up now. Okay, that's good. That's a good sign. It tailed off because it was nighttime, but it's in the last couple hours it's picked up here, so that's good. Yeah, but it's still not a lot. 748 in the last hour, but it is early in South Africa. It's 6:30 in the morning. Maybe it'll pick up. If it picks up next 2 or 3 hours, starts getting views, that'll be good. But I mean, it's no great shakes. I mean, I had a 71,000 view video on the 9th. That was the lady getting shot, and I hated doing that. That's a non-monetized video, and that's had 71,000 views, which actually is kind of impressive for a non-monetized video. I don't know if YouTube put ads on it, but I didn't get any money off of it, which is fine. But since then, the best video I've had is at 13,000 views. Since that video, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prepared videos. And I went 4 days without making a video because they're getting so slow. That darn cat is nagging me to groom her. Yeah, those cats can be quite demanding, can't they? All right, let me see where I'm at in the queue. Looks like I'm about 80% through. Okay, guys, if it picks up here, I'll have to drop off. But we're now, how far are we into this stream? We're 53 minutes, almost an hour, even though we started half hour late. I could have got this show in and done. Wow. It is now in Sydney, 3:30 in the afternoon. So I've been at this for 3.5 hours in the queue. Where'd the guy go? It's been in the queue for a while, too. Waiting to hear from him. I hope it doesn't like drop me out after I get there. I'll be so pissed off. I've turned off all the stuff that like you might get ghostery that might cause problems. It can be anything. Black. Okay, cool. All right, cool. All righty. Ooh. Wow. All right, well, let's see. Wow, look at that. I see somebody that's on a plane on their way. They must be chuffed. Wow. Must be on the ground now. Cool beans. It is in Europe right now, 5:30 in the morning. Oof, that's a tough time to arrive in the morning. Looks like I'm over 80% in the queue. That's good news. Hope it keeps going there. Right. This has been an interesting evening so far, guys. By the way, I've got my streaming software reduced to half its size, so everything's tiny over here, except the text. Like Wallace Conquer the Darkness, some people might believe propagandalized, but I believe we'll expose. Well, Meerkat, it takes time. We keep trying to expose it. Yep. See, that's the thing. Technology is amazing until you have to digitally stand in a queue for tickets. I know, Just Another Girl. This is like, so when I was a freshman at university, I went through the experience of sitting in line for tickets. Michael Stanley Band, the first concert I ever went to, we traded spots. So I went and spent like 4 or 5 hours in the queue. Then someone replaced me, and I went to classes. Someone else replaced them, and we were there overnight camping out for our tickets. Only to get to the booth, and I got tickets. They were pretty good. They were about 6 rows back, but on the side, not in the front. And yeah, it was pretty wild. And I did that a couple of times. Neil Young concert. Yeah, that experience is the only time I ever stood in line for tickets, other than going to a box office, for a ball game or something like that with a short line. But yeah, the queues. But now you have digital queues now. It's just ridiculous. Still at 85%. Hasn't budged anywhere since then. But I've left my browser open for hours now. It's just crazy. Hopefully I get in, I can get the tickets I'm looking for. That would be so exciting. Anyway. So where are we at? Here we are. Okay, let me check in on where are you at? Okay, Milan Cortana. That's still going on. So yeah, this story by the BBC has got some real BS in it. But I mean, it's really castigates John Steenhuisen. Absolutely does. 142 watching. Okay, well I have 137, and I don't know how many likes we have. 126. Let's take a look. 127 likes. So I'm a little bit ahead of you there. Okay. Going back to theater and have hip replacement wound washed out, insert drain system was bleeding. Oh, see, Mike, now you're not convincing me to get this operation. You're not convincing me to get this operation. And this is your second time through. I have a follow-up appointment on the 27th of February with the orthopedic surgeon. And I got to tell you that I'm also worried that I won't get logged into Ticketmaster when this happens. I'm going to have to change my password. So, yeah. Man, where did you see him play? Richfield? No, Alex. I saw them play at Ohio University at Memorial Auditorium. He had only seats like 1,800 or something like that, or 2,100, I forget. But it was awesome. The best concert I ever went to. The first one I ever went to in my life, and it was the best concert ever. It was unbelievable. MSB was incredible. Michael Stanley died recently. Yeah. Oh, no, I got you, Just Another Girl. That's fine. I got you. Yep. No, it's I got to tell you, man, it was an incredible concert. No, I've never been to Blossom. I've never been to where else? Never been to Richfield. No, never been. Blossom is the big one. They were huge. They outsold even the Rolling Stones at Blossom. They were the best-selling band ever at Blossom. Yeah, I need some brand new stem cells. Yeah. No. Mike is not convincing me this is a good idea. Going to the hospital and have the hip replacement wound washed out and insert draining system was bleeding profusely 6 days after operation. That's not good. Late husband and I do monthly shopping, taking turns to stand in line at the till. One would stand, the other would get last minute things. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a little bit different. You don't have to wait for hours. Not quite 90%. It's inching up there, but it's taking time. 3 hours and 30 minutes now is where we're at. Gee, many crickets. Ray Cordier, thank you well, you're very welcome. I'm very welcome. Thanks for being in here. Appreciate it. Wow, we dropped 10 people. Where did they go? Too many mosquitoes. Yeah, I've never been to Blossom, Alex. I just know about it because all these people from Cleveland go to Ohio University. So Ohio University, when I was there, had 3 outstanding features. It was interesting. We had people from all over the country, but lots of people from all over Ohio and the Midwest. But we had 3 groups of people that stood out to me. We had lots of people from New York City, especially Jews. I knew a lot of Jewish students, but a lot of New York Long Islanders came to Ohio University for some strange reason. We had a lot of people who came from Cleveland area. I don't know why, but that was a big thing for them. And we had a large international student population. Yeah, that was the thing about Ohio University back then. Yeah, but I've lost interest in my alma mater because they've been woke the past 2 years, and they can go screw themselves. They no longer get donations from me. They can raise their money from their woke crowd. When they stop being woke, then I'll consider supporting my alma mater. Loretta says, how far is the Rugby World Cup ticket site? What do you mean how far? How far am I in the queue? I'm up to about 87% of the line. So I'll take another picture of that and show you where I'm at now. It was a really slog at the beginning here. It wasn't moving at all for the first hour and a half. The first hour and a half, I didn't even budge. But now it's 3.5 hours, and it's slowly getting up there. I'm going to have to go wee, so I'm going to wind up not being able to wee. Actually, if you guys will excuse me, I may have to go do that now. I've been waiting for 3.5 hours to go to the bathroom because this damn thing. Would he given up? Okay. Wow. You're very welcome, Just Another Girl. I hope I do too, but I mean, they're not going to be cheap. They're not going to be free. I'll probably buy the cheapest tickets I can in most cases because it costs money to fly there. So, but I do this. I won't be able to get all the tickets I want today. Then there'll be a regular sale. I'll go back and try to get some more tickets. And then what happens is then I start booking the travel, the flights, and all the other tickets. Big time woke. Yeah, I know. Yeah, big time woke. Ohio University. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So it looks like I'm almost 90% now. You guys can excuse me for just a moment, right? I'm going to go take a short break. Can you guys hang on? You're not going to run, right? Chat amongst yourselves. People say, why is it a blank camera? Just tell them why. I've got to get up. I've been waiting 3.5 hours. Give me a second. Thank you for your patience. Anyone long-term under review that got changed? Well, I hope I get my tickets too. Still inching up there. Okay, let's see. Mr. Echo's leaving. What are you leaving for? I was gone for like 30 seconds, man. Been waiting 3.5 hours to do that. 4 hours. Been sitting here for 4 hours. Yeah, it is, Chugsy. It's a long time to sit. And I've been drinking, so I stay hydrated. You know, you got to have a game plan here. You got to stay hydrated. Like those Olympic athletes. You can't let yourself get dehydrated. Let's check in on the Olympics. Curling, Denmark, USA. Looks like the women's team.
34-year-old dentist.
Their last ball.
Look at this Team USA.
Or last stone, I should say.
You've got moms on this team. They're all professional women with jobs.
And they put their stone on the outside. So they didn't get a point there. They're tied at 5 points at the end of the third end. Yeah, the curling is obviously from earlier today. So they're playing Denmark. I think they beat Denmark. Well, that lady looks kind of harsh. She's got a serious look in her face. Just love how they get right up to the end and they just curl it. Yeah, most of the time we don't have trolls here. Yep. Talking to your sister on the phone. Oh, for a toilet break. Yeah, I think the last time I did that, I had to get up was during the election in 2020 when I was on for 9 hours. I had to get up. Ronaldo and a couple other people on says, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. And it's the only time I took a break, I think. I think it's the only time I've taken a break, and I wouldn't really call that a break, while we're on air in the entire 6 years I've been broadcasting. USA with another stone now. They're rolling it. 2 sweepers out in front.
Then with the United States
getting halfway,
Denmark
picking up pace. The broom is moving furiously as they get past Olympic circles. And approaching the ring, and she's going to slow it down. Yes, they knocked the Danes out. Well done. They knocked the Danes out. Knocked completely out of the circle. Well, I don't have any trouble initiating a stream. I'm 90% now. 3 hours and 36 minutes. The Danish lady coming up. Curling is fun. I remember when it first came back in the Olympics. People were all excited about it. Well, sorry about the adverts, Mara, but it pays the bills, right?
Matilda Hulsa. She's the team DJ on this team Denmark. Keeps them.
So many of these athletes get the Olympic ring tattoos. I'm not really in favor of that. I get why they do it. Now they're trying to hit the American stone. She's going to hit the American stone and knocks us out. Now the Danes are right in the center. Canadian men were caught cheating versus Italy, but denied it. They complained about secret camera setup, but Italy proved saying cameras illegal. So what happened? What was the result, Guy? I mean, I know you mentioned that earlier, but what was the result? Well, if there's lots of ads, that's interesting because YouTube, you know, if they were going to put ads on here, you'd think they would be promoting the channel, but they're not promoting it lately. I need to figure out the algorithm. Yeah, I know curling, but how are they cheating? I mean, what was the outcome? Did the judges disqualify them or what? Or is not? I'm watching this lady with the broom. It's so funny. She looks like she's having sex. Oh, the Americans are back in the center. That's a great job. Anderson Haida is her name. It looks like she's having sex the way she's pushing that broom. Yeah, please hit the like button. That helps. Chatting also helps, folks. The more chatting that we have in the stream, the more people find their way because the algorithm says, aha, it's busy. I'm definitely 90% now. Ooh, we're getting there. 90%. So let's see what happens. Hopefully I won't get locked. If I get locked out, I'm just going to scream, when it happens. It does create a calm atmosphere when people aren't acting like fools. But, I mean, there's so many fools. We've blocked a number of people on the channel. Had to. I don't really want to block people, but people act, okay, did Denmark get us? They knocked us out. Yep. All right. So now they knocked themselves out. So we're the only ones in there. So we're down to 3 stones and Denmark's down to 2. So that's a nice job knocking us out, but they knocked themselves out as well. So not such a great outcome for the Danes. None of these Danes are actually real blondes. They're all bleachy blondes. Well, not all of them are blondes. So, all right, here come the Americans. This is lady was in the mixed team. She won a medal, if I recall correctly. Didn't they get a silver medal in curling?
Running pretty nice right now.
Yeah, they're working hard, but that stone doesn't have much behind it. Still scrubbing the ice. Still scrubbing the ice. Here they come. Getting close. Don't hit that stone. That's gonna get in there. Yes, that's in the circle. But Denmark has 2 stones left, so they might knock it out. Sally only gets Asmate twice a week. Hey, Anlane, what's going on? No, curling is cool. I actually like it. I mean, I'd love to take the sport up. It's a sport you can do in your 50s or 60s, Another WhatsApp above the rugby book for later when you have some time. Well, Loretta, I'll do it now. I mean, why not? Here comes the Danes, that lady with a serious look. I love their shoes, too. They're all flat surface. It's so funny. Oh, they knocked the Americans out, and they knocked themselves out. Now nobody's getting a point from this one. Well, why do they even know about that, Loretta? Why would you see? This is the problem with letting people know about it. It should have been kept to yourself. I mean, I don't know if that was impossible to do, but No inconvenience. But yeah, that's I don't understand. But it's water's on the bridge now. But people don't need to know. This is why I told people keep this to themselves. Keep what's going on to themselves. And the Americans with their penultimate stone, next to last stone. They're back, but not in the center, so it wasn't great. I think they're just trying to put a barrier out there, but I don't know why. So they get 1 point. We'll see what happens. A black chap on Facebook asking for updates for refugees. I told him to watch your podcast. He refused, so I sent him, there's your update. That's good. That's good. All right, I'm definitely at over 90% now. 3 hours and 41 minutes, and it's picking up a little pace here. So if I get in, like I said, I may have to drop off here so I can focus on that. I've already got everything ready here. I've got my sheets, everything ready. Hopefully it goes well. Denmark and USA down to their final stones. Of course, this happened hours ago. Nobody is curling at 4 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning in Europe. 5 o'clock. What time is it? It's 5:41 in Munich. So yeah, nobody is curling in Italy at 5:41. This is from last night. I think the USA won this game. The Danes have got a really fast stone. I mean, this thing is flying. And they did hit the Americans, and they set themselves up. Oh, that was brilliant. How do the Americans win this? They must have a really good stone to knock this out. That was brilliant. That thing hit hard and only went a short distance after that. That was amazing. Well done. That was some great curling right there. The Danes did a really good job. Wow. The ice is weird. It's got kind of like a texture to it. Boy, this one Danish curler is really hot. She's super hot. Anyway. Oh, well, that's a shame, Loretta. All right. I'm not sure what to tell you right now, especially during the stream. I will look at it later on. You're going to have to give me more information too, Loretta, in your WhatsApp. It doesn't really help me to know that that's happening. I don't know where, So... And here's the U.S. in their final stone. Let's see what happens here. Is this the one that got the... Oh, it looks like they're going to nail the stone from Denmark. They did, and they have 2 stones for points. They're going to get points from this? Wow. Yep. So they got 2 stones, and Denmark got none. So that's the third. And it looks like that's how they won the game. Wow. Oh, that was USA, and they went to court. These idiots. We want to hear them chant USA, USA, but now they got to... Oh, I swear. They do such a poor job running this thing. Such a poor job. All right, I'm getting close after such a long wait. I wonder how many tickets are left. Doesn't have referees because no, there are referees, aren't there? I think that curling does have referees. They have officials. Yeah, I think they do. 5 adverts since it came on. Never had it before. Started a little while ago. Okay, Mara. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, about 95% of the way through the queue. Yeah, that's where I'm at now. So getting close. Looks like it's going to be a 4-hour wait. Phew. Yep. Difficulty moving, uncontrolled movements, tremors, feeling like you need to move. Radar. Oh, I've been denied access. What the hell? I just did it to me again. Bastards. After waiting 5 hours or 4 hours, it tells me I'm denied. Okay, I just opened it up again. It keeps telling me I'm denied. This is unbelievable. I wonder if it's the browser. Let me open another browser and go here. Paste and go. Oh, no, that's no good. Yeah. Wow. Wow. It keeps locking me out. I did it again. What a crap website. Yep, I was almost all the way through, and it said access denied. Unbelievable. What a crock. What an absolute crock. I don't have anything turned on that would block things here, so I pulled it back up. It's still, my queue place is still there, so. Wow. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I know. That's what happened earlier. But my link kept my place in the queue. Hopefully I can get in. So I'll find out if it crashes when it tries to get me in. So I don't know that's that I was denied access. I think maybe it just crashed and that's the message. What Rugby World Cup? Rugby World Cup 2027 in Australia. What are you talking about? That's the next World Cup. That's very disheartening after waiting 4 hours. Well, 3 hours and 45 minutes. Close enough to 4 hours. Yep. So we're waiting. It's a good thing I said notify me when it's my turn because that's the link I have. It keeps taking me back to the same queue. Yep. So hopefully I'll get in. Very frustrating. That's correct, Christian. They're playing September 12th in Baltimore. I have a ticket. I will be there. I'll be there Friday night and stay overnight Friday night. Go to the Inner Harbor, meet up with some folks. No, it's not Smiths. That's the crap that these sites pull all the time. And it's just such crap. It doesn't say why. I'm hoping that it's something that's happening to everybody and they figure a way to get back in, not just to me. Because I have nothing turned on. There's no reason for it. Yep, it said don't use other browsers. So anyway. Yep. That is rubbish. No, it is, Ingrid. It is absolute rubbish. You sit here in front of your computer. They ask you, are you still watching? Are you still here? Of course I'm still here. And they've done that to me 3 or 4 times. And then it crashes. Twice it's crashed now. And if I hadn't done the send me an email, I wouldn't have the link that took me back to the same spot in the queue. It's utterly ridiculous. Yep. Utterly ridiculous. Very frustrating. So I'm at about 96% now, 97% maybe. Hopefully I'll get back in. Oh, light rain is very infuriating. All the ticket prices are insane, Christian. They're all insane. But yeah, I'm not even going to the FIFA World Cup because I can't afford that. Uh-oh, what happened? Yes, I'm here. It just asked me if I'm here. I said, yes, I'm here. It went gray and said, are you still here? Yes, I'm here. See, that just keeps happening. Bastards. Oh, boy. 138 people here. We're going back up where we were a few minutes ago. Yeah, let's get back to the curling. Is that still going on? Yeah, here's the curling. So now we're in the 4th end, and Denmark and USA. And one thing about curling is it just takes so long. It's like watching cricket. It takes a long time. People complain about how long American football is, but they don't watch. Ooh, who's that? That American's very lovely. Who is she? They're way out on the outside. What is their plan here? Now they're going to try to get in. Yeah, the World Cup in USA is 2031. I probably won't go to many games in 2031 because it's just too big a country, too far. And I won't be doing any cultural discovery like I do every time I go to World Cup. I mean, I go to World Cup in France, I go to World Cup in Ireland, World Cup in England, World Cup in New Zealand. I see things, I learn things, I go places, discover things. But what am I going to discover in America? Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Atlanta, not going to discover anything. Salt Lake will be fun. Yeah. Hopefully the Springboks play a lot in Salt Lake in 2031. We'll see. There'll be tickets left. There's 2.5 million. They can't possibly be sold out the first night like this in a pre-sale. But hopefully the website works. That's what I'm worried about. It's already failed twice now. It's really frustrating. Denmark throwing their second stone here. That's a good one. That's going to go right in the middle and sit right on the Olympics. Oh, went slightly past it. Yep. And I just realized why the opposition sweeps the floor to slow it down instead of speeding it up. Or maybe they're trying to move it. Anyway, yep. Slightly big bowls, except they're more mobile. Yeah, that's true. That's kind of what they're like. Tara Peterson. Her accuracy is 88%. How do you judge the accuracy? Does that mean you hit what you want to hit? I mean, I don't know how you judge something when you're trying to get different angles. Yeah, 97% or so here. So, yep. USA rolling another stone in the fourth end. And that one's going to get in the circle. Keep going. They're pushing this very hard to get it. Almost, it's in the green. That's well done. So they got 3 lined up straight down the middle. The Danes going to have a hard time knocking. Well, they can get one of these stones, but they can't get both of them. That'd be an impossible angle. Yeah, they'll probably match in San Diego in 2031. Yep. Yeah, but you guys might not be in San Diego in 2031. Remember that. Keep that in mind. Jasmine Holterman is the... oh, man, that stone is flying. Oh, unbelievable. She knocked all 3 of the American stones. I just said she couldn't do it. She had all 3. That was a perfect stone. But it knocked the Americans. Wow, that was incredible. She did a great job on that one. I had no idea she was going to be able to pull that off. Wow, that was impressive. That thing just took off. Boom, boom, boom. It was perfect. It knocked the Danes only one out of the circle too, but that was impressive. 98%. And we're praying that we get in here. So... really demonic. They would force you to watch ads while you wait, and at the end of every ad would ask, are you still there? Yeah. Hey, Mari, what's going on? The Americans rolling another stone now. This one's slow. I think they're trying to set it up on the center line. Yeah, that's what it looks like they're trying to do. Santa Monica. Well, Santa Monica is pretty popular. Okay. So they're trying to protect the one stone they have in there. So, yeah, the Danes are now looking at how they can knock it out. Come on, this website's starting to piss me off. The queue is moving along as fans check out. Tickets are still available. Thank you for your patience. You're now in the queue for the pre-sale. The pre-sale is for fans who created and activated their Rugby World Cup ticketing account before February 17th. When it's your turn, you're automatically redirected to the site to buy tickets. We're experiencing high demand. Wait times may be long. Tell me about it. 4 hours now. Please stay on this page with one device and avoid refreshing the page. Please note, once you reach the front of the queue, you'll enter the site and have 30 minutes to complete your purchase. Well, hopefully that happens. It's now nearly 4 o'clock in Sydney. And I'm at 98% and waiting. Yeah, Santa Monica is pretty popular, so. Dudu Zane Zuma has joined the MK presidency. This is the woman who was recruiting South Africans unwittingly to be cannon fodder for the Russians. She's suspected of playing a central role in selling young men, several of them with family relations, into combat in Russia's war against Ukraine. She resigned as MP as a result, but she continues to work as a contact person in her father, Jacob Zuma's party. Turns out that Makasela Mzoba is no longer Zuma's contact person. Despite the resignation of Dudu Zuma as an MP for the MK party over her alleged role in trafficking young men to the Russian military to fight the war in Ukraine, she very much remains active in the party parliamentary administration. She continues to serve as the designated go-to contact for political work and as liaison between Parliament and MK party leader Jacob Zuma. Wow. Wow. 98%, 99%. I'm close. Close. Wow. I almost think this thing is a scam. It's time so that in 4 hours, maybe I get in after 4 hours. Let all their friends and family get in first. I mean, how do you wind up in the back of the queue when you've been registered for the site since the day it opened? Since the day you could be registered for pre-sale, I've been done. The only thing I didn't do is a super fan. They want you to pay like $6,000 to be a super fan. I don't have that kind of money, so I'm not a super fan. I'm certainly not going to spend that kind of money to go to just one rugby match. Yep. So that one I didn't buy tickets. I got in. I could have bought tickets because there weren't that many people in there, but they wanted $6,000. I mean, what are they talking about? Well, yeah, that's what happened in France. And yeah, so still waiting here. Anyway, and the UK one was tough, but the UK had multiple rounds of sales, so I got in. Yes, Ticket Shyster is a scam. That's exactly right. And I don't even know if I'll get in because it's going to take me Ticketmaster UK. And they play this game about you have to have different passwords and your account's different. I bought tickets Ticketmaster South Africa, Ticketmaster UK, Ticketmaster Germany, Ticketmaster USA, and they play these games all the time. Now, this is what dedication looks like, says just another girl. Dedication or desperation, which is it? One of the two. But I'm close to getting in. Hopefully it works. I am definitely waiting. I don't know if it's patiently, but I am getting my fill. I would much rather have this done hours ago so I could be talking about whether I was successful or not, but we're not there. So back to this. Okay. And down to 3 stones. The Danes have got 3 on the side. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here. The U.S. has got 1 in the circle, and they've got Danes have got 3 to the side. The score is 3-1 USA. They got 2 stones in that last round. Yep. So close. I mean, it's just like a smidgen here. Wow. So close, man. What did they do there? Let's see what the Danes did there. I don't really see what they accomplished. I don't think they're happy with them. Well, they're giving high fives. Did they knock the Americans out? Not really. So I'm not sure what they're doing. They've got 2 stones left each. So close to the end here. Winner gets Greenland. Ingrid, that's what they wanted for the superfan stuff. I wasn't paying for that crap. I don't have that kind of money. No, I was a few months ago. I could have gotten a superfan. I was registered, but I didn't know it was going to be $6,000. I'm like, bye. I'm like, well, no tickets for me. Oh, I'm just like this close. Is it going to work? Hope it doesn't crash on me when it goes in there. Now I'm in. Okay, I'm in. Got to go, guys. Got to go. Catch you later. Okay. See you later.